contingencies. Alan here. So today I'm going to repeat or do a little bit more testing of the new drum mag that I picked up from Critical Situations out of the UK. I have their Titan ID, excuse me, IB-2, okay, for IntruBuster Generation 2. Their Titan 18 round mag or drum magazine, okay? Now this particular one that I picked up will use shaped ammunition or round ball ammunition, okay? So I have 12 rounds, or 12 projectiles, I should say, of the 6 gram, the AR Tactical S-type for shaped, right? The S-type jewels, or 6 gram S-type jewels, okay? The shaped projectiles. So I have loaded up in here 12 of those. Since the last video I put out, not only have I learned that you kind of got to have a technique, a very cautious, careful technique into loading these, because there's no way of locking down or cranking down this particular drum mag like you see with many other types of drum mags out there in the market, okay? With this one, there is no means to do that. Unless I missed something, and maybe there is some other way of doing it. But as far as I know, there isn't, okay? So you got to be careful with it, naturally. You guys saw me fumbling yesterday on that video, right? Had turned into a bloopers reel. Also, I had yet to add, to block off my follower lock. There's a notch in your factory magazines at the bottom on the left-hand side where there's actually a notch so that you can slide your follower all the way down and lock it into place, right? The little tit on the follower, you can slide it down. Well, when you're using the factory magazine with this Titan drum mag, you got to block that, because if not, it could catch. You know, once you start getting, you know, if you say you run, I don't know, you load 12 like I did here today, right? You got 12 rounds in it, and you start shooting. Okay, well, once you get the first 6 shot, right, emptied out, it's possible that that fowler may lock, well, may catch there. So what I did, and a lot of guys do, is we just take a little JB Weld steel stick product or something like that, and just fill in that little. You can see I got a little. Does it show up on the screen? It's kind of tough because it's similar color. You can see I kind of made a little, just filled it in with some of this JB Weld steel stick product that they sell. Just a small piece kind of working in there before you put your magazine, your factory magazine, into the drum mag. And I mean, you could maybe file it smooth if you didn't want to add something like that. I guess you could file that out. You're going to dedicate this factory magazine to the drum mag anyways. It's not like you're going to be swapping it on and off all the time. You can kind of want one to dedicate to this, okay? And then you either need to block it somehow, or you could file it, that existing hole, a little smoother, so it kind of has a little bit of a ramp to it. And this way that follower lock won't catch and lock in, okay, halfway through shooting, okay? So anyways, that's basically what I did, is I used a little JB Weld steel stick. That should work out fine for me, but we'll test that today, because today I do indeed have 12 of the 6 gram AR Tactical S-type jewels loaded in this mag. And I'm going to be very careful when I go to put this magazine in, because I don't want to be picking up 12 of these things. So hopefully today won't turn into a bloopers reel. All right. Also, for that matter, because you're in the spring tension, and maybe this is obvious, maybe it's not, be careful what you do with it after you load it. If I touch this against the wall here, right, or I bump it anywhere, I bump that the slightest bit, boom, they're all shooting out like a machine gun. And it's going to frustrate you. So you got to take a little bit of time to kind of just be aware of what could happen, okay? Or else you're going to be doing what I did yesterday, which is a whole lot of bloopers. Okay, so I'm going to put that safely down, away from anything you can bump into. I'm going to be repeating the test today with 800 PSI high pressure air. I have a 9CI tank here with a slide check regulator, so the on and off is built in. When I say slide check, that's what we're talking about, right? This is on and off built in. And we have it pumped to about 2,500 psi. It's not to the full 3,000 capacity, but it should be adequate capacity to shoot all 12 of these rounds, okay? And then we'll see what we get. Also, yesterday, I had forgotten. I had a 60 millimeter by 1.8 wire gauge bolt spring in my IntruBuster Gen 2 carbine that I had forgotten. I was testing a spring. That little bit of auto fire I had, and that weird inconsistency where I had very low feet per second, then all of a sudden, boom, the thing was shooting 110 joules, right? And then up and down like that. I think that was bolt spring related. At first, I thought maybe my cranny was acting up, but it wasn't the cranny. The more I thought about it, and then I updated some comments in yesterday's video, kind of hinting to that I was testing a bolt spring, and that particular bolt spring works really good on the high pressures, bigger volume tanks. But it wasn't liking that very that weak supply, the small 800 psi tank. And I suspect that was causing some of my problem or inconsistencies. So I have since today actually replaced it and reinstalled my factory 60 millimeter 1.6 millimeter wire size spring. And I expect that arc will be much more consistent now. Yeah, that was pretty wild. I was like, what's going on with that? It started off super low. 2 shots were low, and then 2 shots were high. And the same thing happened when I switched over to 8-gram ammo. It was the same deal. It was like real low, and then it was shooting 105 joules. And I was like, what is going on? So I naturally, at first, I thought, all right, maybe the cranny's acting up, because I wouldn't imagine the gun was going to be able to do that. I mean, we were talking about 45, 50 joule swings, you know, which is a little bizarre. But I think it was a spring. I really do. I think it was a combination of the spring, kind of perfect storm, if you would, you know. I don't think it was the cranny, but we'll know for sure today, because I got the factory spring reinstalled in my Terminator build. Okay. So we are going to reproduce that test, but we're just going to shoot the 6-gram today. Okay, just going to do a nice little quick bang, 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 just bang it up. Hopefully get 6 of these out, and without any jams, and this should be good to go. Hopefully no auto fire or any other problems. So, and I hadn't been getting auto fire either, so I kind of suspected it was. I was like, it's got to be that spring, because that particular spring is too stiff for light sources, air sources, the lower pressure air sources. Like if I use that spring on 12-gram in the handle, CO2, it just freaking farts left and right. It's just too strong. However, it was more designed to be used, my understanding anyways, was to be used under some higher pressures, like, 1,050, 1,100, which clearly I wasn't using that yesterday, right? I was only using 800. So, yeah, let's air this baby up. It's unloaded. Didn't get any jams yesterday. Hopefully we'll continue that with that, success rate there, not have any jams. I really think this drum mag is definitely going to be feeding. I mean, as stiff as that spring is, I really feel like it's going to be feeding so much better with the shaped ammunition. So, all right, here we go. Airing it up on 800 psi high pressure air. All right. Sounds okay. I'm going to put her down for a second so I can put my earplugs in. And then I'm gonna very carefully, I'm already laughing. I'm like, shit, man, here comes another blooper reel, right? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. You've really got to be careful with these things. That's the only thing, like, it'd be cool if there was a cranking mechanism to it, but I also know that a lot of guys that have the drum mags that have the cranks on them, or even just the magazines, like for example the TC-68. I don't own one, but I've seen enough videos on it, and I know a lot of guys have trouble with those cranking mechanisms. I guess they're great when they work, but not so great like anything else when they don't work. So maybe something like that would overcomplicate, the product and, the mechanism. So I don't know. All right. We got our freestanding cranny. We'll be using that today, and I'll be just calling out the feet per second, and I'll update the video like I usually do. All right, we are going to be very careful. I'm going to use this technique that seemed to work yesterday. Going nice and easy with it. Success. All right. Okay. We got her in there. She's looking good. All right. Looking good. Turn the laser on. So we got 12 of these 6-gram Air Tactical S types. Shape projectiles. They are a 684 size. And we are going to see if we can shoot off all 12 of these without a jam and record some data, some test data. All right, here we go. 6-gram ammo, shaped ammo, shot 1. 800 PSI. 671.1 feet per second. Much better with the feet per second. This bolt spring, the factory bolt spring, definitely better. All right, that was shot 1. Let's go with shot 2. 640.6 feet per second. Shot 3. 631.1 feet per second. Shot 4. Wow, it came flying back at me. 328.8. I think that might have got messed up a little bit. I actually think two rounds may have came out of there. I don't know. All right, so that was what, shot 4? All right, I think it's shot 4. All right, I'm going to call this shot 5, I think. Come on. Does motion light go out or what? Damn fussy. Oh, this thing's leaking now. Oh, yeah. Well, before it all leaks out, let me shoot a couple more. I think we're on shot 5. Shot 5. No, I think we got a jam. No shot 5. All right, so I think we might have got our first jam here, folks. All right. Let's see if I didn't waste too much air. I got a little, about 1500 PSI left. All right, let me see if it's going to be an easy clear of this jam or not. If it's an easy clear, then maybe what I'll do is we'll continue shooting. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds left inside the mag, and yeah, that thing jammed. 4, 5, and then 6 one is jammed in there. All right. That is weird. That's the first time ever I've had the 6-gram jam on me. All right, let me take the bottle off. It's already de-aired, but let me spin the bottle off here, see if I can clear that jam. If I can't clear the jam, then I think we're gonna just end this video and pick it up later with some ball ammunition maybe for the next test. Yeah, about 1500 PSI left. All right, let's see how difficult this little puppy's going to be. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but maybe if I catch the right amount of light, I might be able to see in there that the round, which is not really round, the shaped ammo actually flipped. So the bottom of the projectile where it's semi-hollow, I can actually see that. So instead of the round going up smooth, somehow it managed to flip, probably flipped up and went straight in that way. So let's see if I can get this darn thing out of there without having to take it all apart. But to be honest, usually, you know what, let me try a screwdriver, something that can dig into it a little bit. But to be honest, usually when this happens to me, I got to pull the back out and push it out somehow. Oh, I got it to move. All right. I got it to move. But now it's spun around the other way. That's not good. Oh, there we go. Excellent. All right. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I'll tell you, the last time I had an 8-gram jam on me in here, it was tough. It was tough. All right, the bolt's back. Everything else looks good. All right, we got 1,500 PSI capacity left. I say we shoot something, you know, something else to test out this mag, this drum mag. So we have 4 left in there, or I could continue shooting these, but I feel like what I want to do right now is kind of move from the shaped ammo. I'll shoot these again at some point. Really weird though. I mean, that's the first time that I've had a problem with the 6-gram. Wasn't expecting that at all. I say we shoot some of these 10-gram. These are 6.84 as well, so they're bore size to my fit. They're a bore fit to my barrel, my 6.86 barrel. They're within 2/1000ths of an inch, right? Which is typically what you're looking for, something within 2/1000ths of an inch of your barrel size, bore sized, right? So you can get the optimal efficiency out of that air pressure. All right, so I think we're just going to load up 6 of these. These AR Tactical 10-gram hammer rounds. Check these really good. Make sure there's no splits on them, because if they have any cracks or splits in them, the polymer jacket on here will swell enough and will make your barrel stinky, nice and hot. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. These bounce even worse. Oh, these freaking things bounce even worse. All right. Let's be more careful, Alan. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, you really got to kind of work that really good like that. All right, we'll just do 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that should be enough to finish the rest of this bottle. Again, being careful where I place this mag. All right, so I think that's why I was leaking. I started hearing the leak even with the earplugs in, and I was like, even before I tried to pull the trigger, I was like, something ain't right here. So it was leaking because the bolt was kind of hanging up from the jam. Oh, pick up that other 6-grammer. All right, so let's go ahead and air her up first. Like I said, we get about 1,500 PSI capacity left out of this. It's an 800 PSI tank, so we should be able to get off these 6. We'll see what these 10-gram hammer rounds will give us. No, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. That jam may have caused an issue with an O-ring. Yeah. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. All right. And now from cycling, gassing up, airing up, de-airing, I'm down below 1,000, so we're not going to get really crap out of this now. All right, I'm just going to, all right. I was hoping to be able to maybe get these 10 grams off, but it looks like I'm going to need to take this apart and check it out. I get an O-ring that's acting up in here. Let's see. The way that air is coming out that fast, my guess is maybe during the event I lost, I don't know, the 011's still there. Well, I think feels good. Let's put this back on, air it up one more time, see what happens. See if we're still leaking. Trying to see inside there. And the bolt's not stuck forward. It's where it should be, so. All right, let's try it again. I only got about 1,000 PSI left in here, though. But let me see if it'll at least air up without a leak. Nah. Unless it's my puncture cap. Actually, you know what? It is. It's a freaking puncture cap O-ring. It's not in here. That's right. I was having problems with this a few videos ago. Actually, more than a few videos now. Maybe a week or two ago when I was shooting this. All right. All right. That's what it is. It's not my O-ring. Well, probably is an O-ring. Or is that puncture cap's acting up again? Let me try something really quick here. Let me try. Let me take a look at this. I have an empty CO2 in there. Get that out of there. Don't really need that in there. I am gonna see if I can crank this thing tight. All right. Probably need a new O-ring on it, or it could be the actual degasser acting up internally. That's right, I forgot it. This one, I've had some issues with these quick punctures. Everything since it was new, with the quick puncture not working properly, always making a good puncture, to them leaking. They definitely, these quick punctures are not the very best. All right, we're gonna air it back up, see if I got lucky here. See if I got lucky. Wish me luck. I might have to swap out that quick puncture. Yeah. It definitely sounds like it's that quick puncture. Yeah, right. Tighten it down a little bit more. Quiets up. I'll put a new O-ring on it and try that. But for now, I'm below 500 PSI. Ah, hell, let's see if we can get one freaking shot. Will this thing even cycle? Probably not, right? Actually, better yet. Better yet. If I can get this quiet enough. Then I'll just take this bottle off and... What size Allen key is that? I guess it will take an Allen key, but that's a freaking huge one. It's like a 3/8 or something. Oh yeah. Yeah, could be very well be this puncture cap, not just the O-ring. It's... Come on, quiet up. Well, I got it to quiet up a little bit. This tank's pretty much exhausted though. So I think what I'm gonna do, I really want to shoot these 10 grams. So I think I'm gonna just grab my 1050 tank and just shoot these 6 rounds with a leak if need be. 1050. It's a strong 1050. It's like almost 1100 PSI. I got 2000 PSI capacity left in there, so. All right, let's see. Let's at least get these 10 gram these what are we calling these things? These hammers. Spit it out. Hammers. 10 gram hammers. All right, so my puncture cap is junk. I'm gonna probably have to use, I don't know if my spare Beeman puncture cap, quick puncture cap will work or not on this. I think they work threadwise, but I think they're a little shorter, but I'll have to see. And you got that big section over here. Or I could swap it out for my Pistelle one, but I'm gonna need to order a new one of these probably. All right, let's air it up on 1050 or almost 1100. All right, we still got a little bit of a leak from the puncture cap, but it's nothing internal. It's not my 011. It's just that darn puncture cap. All right, let's see if I can load these 6, this drum mag with 6 10 gram hammer rounds. Let's see if I can load it without spilling the beans, spilling it everywhere. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 10 gram hammer rounds. These are 6.8 4 sized. Woo. All right, another successful load. All right. Put the laser on. So this is 1050 PSI, or just a little bit under 1100 PSI. 10 gram ammo, ball ammo. This is my 12-inch barrel with the MCS Reaper Suppressor on the end, with our critical situations Titan drum mag. And come on, light. Oh, hell with it. Oh, there you go. Remind of your own. All right, let me call off the feet per second. 10 gram ammo, shot 1. 1050 PSI. (552.8 feet per second). Shot 2. 544.9 feet per second. What is this? Shot 3. Shot 3. 544.2 feet per second. Wow, that one actually caught it. Look at the target material. Shot 5. Let's see if I can knock the thing down with the next shot. I think it's shot 5. 545.3 feet per second, and I think I got one more, if my count ain't wrong. Shot 6. 545.5 feet per second. All right, and you can hear that quick puncture is leaking again. I mean, it didn't stop leaking. I got it to quiet up a little bit. That was it. Woo! That's some good shooting, though. Yeah. That was good. All right, that was 1050. I mean, that was borderline almost 1100 PSI right there. With those feet per second, 10 gram ammo, we're probably up around neighborhood of maybe 140 to 150 joules right there with those 10 grammers. And what we got left? Oh, there goes my washer. No auto fire. Gun ran really good. I mean, the only thing I was struggling with is that quick puncture leaking. I don't know, either it's the O-ring or it's some O-rings internal to that quick puncture. I think I got all 6 of these shots out, didn't I? Nope, 1 left. I only did 5. 1 left. I had 6 in there, so all right. So we got 5. So the magazine's working good. I don't know what to make, if it's the magazine's fault or not, because of that jam I got on the 6 gram ammo. It wasn't a tough jam to clear, so I can't complain too much. But that was the first time I've seen a jam with the later S types, the 6 gram. But I'll be shooting them some more because, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment. So I'll be shooting them some more, but I definitely got to do something with this quick puncture. It's time to replace that with something else. So anyways, thanks for watching, and thank you for enduring all this craziness, our bloopers and everything else that was going on, and quick puncture woes. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully this has been entertaining for you, and hopefully you're having a great day. I'll see you soon. Peace out.